Hey, it's Tyler Evans here, talking sports today with my good friend Danny Forbes. Danny, how are you now?
I'm not bad. How are you doing, brother?
Doing well. Danny, a lot happened this week in sports. One of the biggest things happened today. The Columbus Blue Jackets have traded Pierre-Luc Dubois to the Winnipeg Jets for Patrick Laine. Your thoughts on the trade?
Well, obviously it's breaking news. It's a huge deal. Anytime you get a player the level of a Patrick Laine switching teams, it changes it changes the dynamic of the NHL, and it's noteworthy. But Pierre-Luc Dubois is no slouch in his own right. He's a hell of a player. We've seen what he can do against Toronto last year in the playoffs. But there's obviously a situation there with him getting benched by Tortorella, requesting a trade. Did you see the shift? I watched the shift on I think it was Instagram there, and I couldn't believe it. Like of course he got benched. I don't even understand why there's people defending Dubois in this particular situation.
Yeah.
Have you seen the shift?
I did. I saw that in real time, and when I was watching it, I went, this guy's gone in 48 hours. There is no way they bring him back. Like, he is traded tomorrow, and obviously that is exactly what happened. To your point, these guys, yes, Patrick Laine is the better player, but Dubois is no slouch either. These guys went 2-3 in the 2017 draft. So with that being said, I mean, who do you think won this trade?
Well, I was reading there that Laine only has 1 year left on the deal.
Yeah.
So when you include the contract situation, and I believe Dubois has 2 years left on the deal, so just with that alone, you have to go with Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Just with that alone. However, Laine is the best player in the deal, and they have a good team, and they can make a run for it as long as they can make it work with Laine and John Tortorella, because that's another thing that could go south very quickly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Patrick Laine, I don't think really wants to be in Columbus, and I don't really see a scenario where he stays there going past this season.
No, you're totally right. He wanted out of Winnipeg, but I don't think he wanted to go to Columbus.
No.
With that being said, the same thing goes with Dubois.
Yep.
I'm sure when he demanded a trade from the Columbus Blue Jackets, that he certainly did not have the Winnipeg Jets in mind.
Yeah, he wanted to go to a big
market. It seems like
market.
a lot of people want to live in Winnipeg.
It's pretty cold there.
I mean, I do it. I have no problem, but I guess a lot of these millionaires that are not used to that climate, I can't blame them for wanting to go to LA or Florida or a warmer climate.
All right, moving on to baseball. Huge news broke earlier this week. The Toronto Blue Jays have signed center fielder George Springer. George Springer is a 3-time All-Star. He's been to the postseason 5 times, and he was a World Series MVP in 2017. Danny, what does George Springer bring to the Toronto Blue Jays?
He brings that elite talent. He brings that championship experience. He's a World Series MVP. He's proven time and time again against the best teams in the biggest situations that he can perform, and that's exactly what the Blue Jays need to lead the young core they have forward. And I'm really excited that they finally opened their wallet for the first time in a while, and they got their guy. So I know a lot of people would say they overpaid him, giving him $150 million over 6 years.
Yeah.
But with Toronto, I feel you have to overpay your guy to get him. It's not a free agent market, and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And there's other considerations like taxes in Ontario and Canada that make it difficult for the Blue Jays to sign free agents. So the fact that we got our guy, I'm beyond excited for that.
Yeah, and this is a guy they needed. He is a huge upgrade in center field, obviously. And, I mean, you had to overpay him because beyond what he brings on the field, he also brings a pretty huge element off the field. As I said, he's been to the postseason quite a few times. He's a World Series MVP. The Blue Jays are a fairly young team, and now he brings in some experience, some competitiveness, and he might be a culture changer for the Toronto Blue Jays clubhouse.
Oh yeah, as long as he performs to the way he's proven he can, he's gonna be a fan favorite. He's gonna take the city by storm, the country by storm, baseball in Canada by storm, and I'm looking forward to what they can do. With that being said, I'm glad that we can add Springer, but we need more. I'm happy we got Kirby Yates, the closer there from San Diego.
Yeah.
He had just one hell of a 2019 year. ERA under 2 and 40 plus saves. So that's something. We're obviously heading the right direction. It's a very exciting time to be a Blue Jays fan.
Yeah.
But we need another starting pitcher. I know Trevor Bauer's on the market. That would be awesome, but
Yeah.
at least another solid presence in the rotation is something that they can really use right now.
Yeah, it might be a little early to be giving praise to Atkins and Shapiro. They did open up the pocketbooks for the first time in their tenure, but the Blue Jays, they still need some help in the pitching rotation, and they could use a third baseman as well. So there's still lots of work to be done for the Blue Jays.
Hey, I'll pass judgment till the offseason is over, but it's trending in the right direction, and with this last week in news, I am excited for spring training to begin. Let's just say that.
All right, let's get to a new segment called Ty and Dan Crack a Can. This is brought on by your good friend, Toby Guthrie. Explain, Danny, what is Ty and Dan Crack a Can?
Well, basically every week we're gonna get together, chat a little bit. I think every week there's someone out there, whether it's an athlete, whether it's an entertainer, whatever, guy, female, that just deserves props from us or props from me. And we talked about this a little bit before the show. Who do you think we are going to give our cracker can to and give a cheers for this week?
Well, I'm actually going to go with Canada Dry Ginger Ale because it's a little early in the day to be drinking, at least heavily. But when it comes to who we're going to pick, I just cracked my can, so we'll cheers to the new head coach of the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, for his epic press conference this week.
All right, and so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down, and when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Quite the press conference, pretty entertaining, pretty funny. Danny, if you are a player on the Detroit Lions and you just saw that, what is your reaction?
My immediate reaction would probably rip my shirt off. I don't just rate Hulk Hogan style and maybe run through a cinder block wall because that was awesome.
It was very entertaining, very funny. I'll give him that. But I don't know if this is really the thing you want from your head coach. I think you want him to come in and give the coach talk. I mean, for him to come in there all rah-rah, I don't know if that really does send the best message. He said they're going to be, biting kneecaps?
That's the message that the players need to buy into if they want to win. It's not like the Detroit Lions are working with a surplus of talent over the last decade or so. So if they want to compete, they need to buy into that message. And honestly, I don't know about this guy's resume. I don't follow a lot of football coaches' careers and their journey to the NFL. However, I know one thing. I'm interested in seeing what this guy can do with his squad, and I'll be rooting for him because that guy's awesome. That guy is the dude.
Yeah. Sticking with football, the NFC and AFC championship games happen this weekend. We are going to know after Sunday who is going to be playing in the Super Bowl. Danny, I'm going to give you a little scenario. Your team is down by 6 points, 2 minutes to go in the game. You can have at quarterback Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen. Who do you want under center in that big moment?
Well, given the situation you presented me, how can you not pick Tom Brady with his resume, with what he's shown he can do time and time again in crunch time, with the clock running down in the fourth quarter against good teams in big situations? He always remains calm and makes the right football play, executes. He's just shown he can do it so many times, year in, year out, consistently, that it's just, how could you not pick Tom Brady in that situation?
It feels like he's been in that situation 100 times in his career. You remember the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons when it looked like it was over, and Tom Brady just finds a way. He is definitely a tough guy to bet against, that is for sure. But with the same scenario, I think I would pick Patrick Mahomes. He is 5-1 in playoff games. I know that's a small sample size. He's only been a starting quarterback now for 3 full seasons. But he, earlier this year, dating back to last postseason, won 6 games when trailing by 10 or more. You remember last year in the playoffs in the divisional round when the Chiefs were up against Houston. They were down 24-0 at some point in that game. And he just pulls out that Mahomes magic. The kid just finds a way. He is electric. He might be on track to pass Tom Brady for being the most legendary quarterback of all time. I think I would take Patrick Mahomes under center in that scenario.
Oh, that's totally fair. It's a good pick. Obviously, Mahomes is special. He's not even just in the NFL. I would say team sports in general. He might be one of the biggest blue chip prospects, sure thing prospects that we've seen in decades. So the guy is just a winner. You know, like everything you've said about him it's true. He's the man. It's just, to me, he still has to prove that he can be that guy year in, year out, consistently stay healthy, and just keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Tom Brady's longevity is what makes me pick him.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's turn to the UFC now. Tonight, there is a big fight. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Poirier has a record of 26-6-0. McGregor 22-4-0. So they have had similar careers other than Conor McGregor, a little more flashy, a little more easy to market around. But this is a pretty even fight, isn't it?
Oh yeah, their careers have honestly been pretty parallel, and a lot of people might not know. They actually fought before when they were young, coming up. They fought in the UFC before in 2014. In that bout, Conor McGregor won in the first round by TKO. He made quick work of Poirier. It was well documented. He got in his head in the press conference beforehand. And with that being said, we're not seeing that this week, tonight with the press conference. There's a great deal of respect between the two. Conor McGregor has not talked any trash whatsoever, and Poirier has returned the respect to Conor. It's going to be a different fight. Obviously, Dustin Poirier has developed into a world-class contender since the Conor fight, and Conor's improved as well. It's going to be a different fight. I don't believe it's going to end quite as early as the last one. I think this one will be a little bit more of a drawn-out war.
Yeah.
I believe Poirier will be a little more prepared going into this one.
And who do you think needs to win this fight more?
Conor McGregor. Just the legacy on the line, and if he's obviously pushing for that Khabib rematch, and this is his way in. He's the way he's talking. He's saying, "Oh, you know, Khabib's scurrying away. He's scared. He's this. He's that. That's what he's gunning for." And he needs a win over Poirier to get it. This will be his last shot to get it, I believe, because if it doesn't happen, Khabib will not return.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Thanks for joining us. We are going to try to do this again next Saturday and every Saturday for as long as we can. Danny, thanks for joining me again.
That was a blast. Thanks for having me. I look forward to doing this more. It was fun.